Hey everyone, if you're new to my channel, I'm Susan. Welcome, and today we're going to be putting out some fall decorations. Let's get started. So first up, we're going to clean this fireplace, and it drives me crazy because it shows everything. The dust, it actually looks like we've walked across it. It just looks so dirty. So I'm thinking about painting it, but I'm not sure what color I want to go with. We've never had a fireplace like this before. We've always had, stone or brick, but never this. So we're just gonna wipe it down so that we can start adding all of our fall decorations. I stopped by Hobby Lobby and picked up some really pretty fall decorations that I'm very excited about that I'm going to be using on my fireplace. And I ended up getting 2 of these fall leaf garlands. I also picked up 2 of these berry garlands. And 2 of these pumpkin picks. I'm going to start off with the leaf garland, and this garland lays really flat, which is perfect because I can lay one across the bottom, and that way if you want to set stuff on the top, you could. And then I'm going to lay one flat against the wall in the back to give it some height. I just like to just bend my garland so that it kind of fits and hugs onto the fireplace mantle because I didn't use anything to hold this in place. Next, I'm going to be adding the berry garland, and be sure to fluff your berries. I didn't do much to the leaves. You'll see in a minute that I did pull some down towards the front, but I kind of left those flat and then just added the berries and made sure I just fluffed the berries up really well. I didn't fluff them up as much coming down the side. I kind of wanted them to just kind of flow down the side a little smoother. And then I went ahead and added my second berry garland. And I usually decorate very symmetrical, but this time I wanted to try something a little bit different and have it running off one side of the fireplace because my fireplace is not very wide. And so this way I could add a few pumpkins and some decorations on the end and still have the garland look very full. And this is where I just bent a few of the leaves down so that they would hang over the fireplace. And so far, I'm just like really loving this. Next up are our pumpkin picks. And I thought about just actually sliding these in as they are, but they just look too clustered. So I decided to use wire cutters and just snip off a few of the pumpkins. And I did leave some on the stick. And this way I can slide the stick in and still have the little curly cues coming off of it. And then with the ones I cut off, I could just randomly space them throughout my garland. Just tried to thin it out. And I think this worked out a whole lot better. I like how there's pumpkins now all across the garland. And I'm not using anything to hold them in. I'm just pushing them into the garland and they're staying. But on the side that was coming off of the fireplace, I did have to use some wire. And I just took the wire and wrapped it around the little stem and then just attached it to the garland. And then just taking a Sharpie, I was trying to make my little curly cues. That one was kind of crazy, so I just used a Sharpie to give it some curl. And this is the second pick, and I did the same thing as well and just cut a few of the pumpkins off. Next up are these pumpkins that I made years ago. I made these on a knitting loom. Then I just used a cinnamon stick for the stem. I just love these. I should totally make some more. And then I found these candlesticks at Home Goods. I felt like one of them needed to be a little bit taller. And later on, I don't think I filmed this, but I did add an extra wood block to make it even taller. And then I picked this up from Home Goods as well. And it has these two battery powered candles with these little candle rings. And it was on clearance, which is always a win. And today I'm just going to be using the candles. And then I'll probably use the rings during Christmas. And the candles were just a little too small for the candlesticks. So I just took a paper towel and cut a strip and wrapped it around the bottom of the candle just so that it would fit down firm into the candlestick. And I did that for both of them. Next up are these pumpkins, and I love these pumpkins. My husband surprised me with these last year. I'd asked him to run by Hobby Lobby and pick up one single stem. It was a stick. It was a curly-Q looking crazy stick that I needed for Halloween last year. And he found my stick I needed and surprised me with all these pumpkins. And the coloring was perfect. I went out into the garage to find some metal pumpkins I thought I was going to be using. And I came across these and I was like, those are perfect. So I decided to use these instead and just stack them in the corner of the fireplace. Okay, so here's where I'm showing you how narrow my fireplace is on the one side. Like I said, I usually decorate across my fireplace, but with it going off the side, I was able to add the pumpkins and the candlesticks. So for the couch, I picked up this 2-pack of pillows. And they are so soft. And I just love this green color. They're perfect for fall, but you could still use them during Christmas. And I picked them up from TJ Maxx. I need to figure out how to get all of these wrinkles out of them, but I will do that later. Next up is this beautiful pillow. I just love the colors and the stitching, and I found this at TJ Maxx as well. We're just going to add some blankets so it's nice and cozy. I also changed the fabric on these little stools that I have sitting beside our chairs. So for the coffee table, I'm going to be adding this arrangement. This is a DIY that I made in a previous video, and I just filled it with dried eucalyptus and these, what kind of flowers are these? These cream and brown flowers. And I absolutely love this bowl. Next, I'm going to be adding this little gold pumpkin, and it's actually a candle, and it came from Hallmark. So for my bowl, I'm just going to be filling it with pine cones, and I'm really glad I picked up 2 bags because it took 2 bags to fill up my bowl. I just love it. It has blue marks on it. It has this copper piece that's attached to the side of it. And I purchased this from an antique store. And I could do a video on that if you're interested to show you the store. It's amazing and I want everything in it. And to finish off the coffee table, I'm going to be adding this book. It's called Natural Elegance. And this is just breathtaking. Absolutely beautiful. I would love to be sitting at this table, just sitting out, enjoying that view. And this book is filled with such beautiful pictures. So what do you like best, the mountains or the beach? Comment down below. I think it's too hard to choose, actually. I love them both. Okay, so on this bookshelf, I'm going to be adding this deer picture, and this was a birthday gift from my daughter. We go to an antique store and they have these papers with different pictures, and they have so many different ones to choose from. I always comment how much I love them, and so she bought one and had it framed, and I absolutely love it. And now I'm just going to add this antique lamp. Next, I'm going to be adding this clear quartz crystal cluster. So I read that it allows positive energy to flow freely and promotes healing and balance. And last, I'm adding this concrete donut. So my daughter worked for Restoration Hardware, and I saw this in the store, and I was like, I want that. And she's like, why do you want that? And I was like, I don't know, but I want the donut. So she surprised me and brought home the donut, the concrete donut. And then I just dropped in some fall flowers. On this shelf, I added my little beaded pumpkins that I made in a previous video and my toilet paper bowl, my most popular video. So I've had several questions on this. Someone had asked if you could still smell the cinnamon. No, you cannot smell the cinnamon. It's holding up really well. No problems and no ants. Someone asked if there were ants. No ants. Still love it. I just have these balls in it. It still looks very good. On this shelf, I'm using this large dough bowl. And this is the other piece that I purchased from that store that I was talking about earlier. And I've used it in several of my other videos. I used it in my Easter video, Halloween, and Christmas. And so now I just have it filled with hydrangeas and plants and these glass balls. And these actually have lights in them. And then I thought I would just add a few pumpkins to finish it off. And I also added these brass deer that I found at a thrift store, and I just adore them. So thank you to whoever donated these. So I needed something to go above my fireplace, and we had this canvas that we were no longer using. So I thought I could just paint it and make my own art. Okay, so here's the canvas I'm going to be painting, and I'm a little nervous because I've never done this before. This is a very large canvas, and I'm not even sure if I have enough joint compound, but we're going to do this anyway. So let's see if I can figure this out. So the joint compound was very thick, so I added some Liquitex gel into it, and I also added some acrylic gesso into the joint compound. Okay, so let's just go for it. So I started out by just spreading it with a Cricut tool I had. It's like a little spatula, and just use that. And then I grabbed this plastic spreader and started using that, and then realized it was so much easier just to use my hands. So I started out on one side, and then as I made it to the other side, I actually ran out of my mixture. So then I just started spreading it all over, just playing around with different tools, dragging it across. This was so much fun to do and super easy, and I actually like how it turned out. Then I just grabbed some white paint and started just hitting it to wherever I thought it needed it. My daughter came in and she's like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool." And I was like, "Does it look okay?" Because I actually ran out of my mixture towards one half of the canvas. And she was like, "No, it looks good. That looks great." She's like, "It looks like something that would be hanging in Restoration Hardware and you would have to pay a fortune for it." So we're going to go ahead and hang it above the fireplace, and I can always change it or add to it later. But for now, it's just going to go above the fireplace as is. But I actually think it didn't turn out too bad. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.